Welcome back. My name is Dulio. Got my co-host here, Luis.
Yes, sir.
And today we got co-founder and one half of MuscleBound, Luis Enrique. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
We got there, man. But so MuscleBound, brother. You've been on this kind of. We've seen a lot of MuscleBound this year, and it's been, I feel like, growing pretty. It's growing. Been pretty big around the area, around the community. Will you tell us and kind of explain a little bit about MuscleBound and kind of what it means to you and your brother? Because your brother also is part of MuscleBound, correct?
Yes, he is. Correct.
So Sergio, you and Sergio, how long ago did you start that? I mean, what was or for those people that don't know, what is MuscleBound?
So where do I start? Like the beginning of MuscleBound?
Wherever you want to, wherever.
Okay. So, I mean, me and Dulio kind of already talked about it just a little bit, like briefly, while we were waiting. But MuscleBound started, I think we had like MuscleBound Burrows on there whenever we started it. Like it was on Instagram whenever we first started it. I was a freshman coming into high school, and Sergio he's 2 years younger than me, so I don't know, 6th grade. He was in 6th grade or something. And he would always come to the high school to come into the weight room because, like, I had access to the weight room because I was in, like, PE at the time. Like, I wasn't heavy on lifting at all. And I didn't even play football. Mm-hmm. So, like, he started playing football before I did, so like that's why he was like, oh, like I want to like get bigger, I want to better myself and stuff.
So what were you into before you started playing football?
So like taking a little sidestep here, it's like right around the time that we moved from Carthage to Webb City. So that's right. I was playing football in Carthage. And then we decided that we were gonna move to Webb City. I don't even really, I don't really know like why we moved exactly, but I do know that I was very upset to move. I did not want to leave. I was like, what? Like, why are we leaving now? It's like, what about my friends and like all of this?
Especially you're about to go into high school and definitely.
Yeah, like going into high school was like, man, why are we leaving now? And so like that was the hardest thing for me is like leaving my friends that I've grown up with behind to like now going to 20 minutes down the road to something that I had never experienced before. And so like I was into football, like I was just like heavy on sports. I was never like I was never good while I played in Carthage just because I was like smaller, like I never like
Little funny side note, I played football my 6th grade year, and I loved it, man. I was into football. I didn't even play soccer till I was like 12, man. But it's funny because everybody kept growing, after 6th grade. Everyone I was about average size in 6th grade, but then after that, everybody kept growing, and I seen everybody keep growing, and I didn't grow at all, and so I'm like, fuck. And then that's slowly when I got introduced to soccer, and then I started playing soccer more, and then but I just wanted to throw that in there. I saw everyone growing, but I didn't grow at all, so I'm like, fuck, maybe I'm not meant for this sport.
My bad for interrupting your leading on. What is MuscleBound?
Yeah, so like to finish what I was saying, like it was hard like in the beginning because I was like, man, like I was loyal to Carthage, like my hometown. I was like, I'm not playing football for fucking Webb City.
Shit,
like,
it was like that,
I was like, nah, like they don't deserve me. Like I've been pretty dramatic my whole life. I would say like I'm just like, no, I'm not playing football here. Like I don't want to play for Webb City. They don't deserve because they have that rivalry, Carthage and Webb City. They've always had that. And so like that's why I didn't my sophomore year. That's why I didn't do anything. Like I enrolled for PE. Like if you want to play football, you have to do PT. So you have to enroll into PT if you want to play football. And so I was in PE, but I was like, okay, like I'm gonna work out because I want to get into weights. Like I'm going to play football next year. I know that for sure because, dude, not doing anything that summer, like my freshman year, it was terrible because I was like, man, what do I even do? I was always back in Carthage just hanging around. Like, I think that's where I met I mean, I didn't meet him. Like, I just started to hang out more with Luis because we would always play soccer, and I think you too. Like,
Dude, yeah, I do remember seeing you when we were younger. Definitely, I definitely remember seeing you.
yeah, like we would every once in a while we played like soccer or whatever, and so that was the thing to do when I was a freshman. But, yeah, that's like kind of like when we started. Like I knew that I was gonna play football the next year because I was just like, man, I'm not gonna not do something. And so because of football, I was like, okay, I gotta get some size on me. Like I gotta start working out. I can't be like the little guy on the team, even though like I'm 5'7", like I'm smaller. I just wanted to get a little bit of muscle. And that's whenever like my brother was like, okay, like we should start like a Instagram page. And I remember specifically, he's like, oh, what do you want to call it? And I was like, I don't know.
6th grade, 7th grade brother told you that?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, like I don't like we just kind of brainstorm, and I don't really remember like the ideas that we had, but then I think we came to the agreement. We're like, what about MuscleBound Bros? I mean, because after all, we are brothers. So we're like, yeah, like let's do that. So we started with MuscleBound Bros, and that's whenever like we started the Instagram page, and then like I can't even remember what the first post on there was. We were like so small and like skinny and like I don't know. We just looked goofy.
Yeah.
And so like that's kind of like the beginning of where it started. It just was MuscleBound Bros. And so like going into sophomore year, like we were like more into the gym. Like we kind of learned through going all the time. Whenever I did start going, like my freshman year. And so it was just every once in a while, like we would post just a picture. It was just pictures. Like we got a membership at 24 in Web City, and like we started posting a lot more there. Like, and you kind of see that change on our Instagram page. And eventually, like we started seeing a bunch of progress, and like I want to say that like MuscleBound kind of started to kick off a little bit. Just like a tiny bit because we were part of the Web City football program. So like, I mean, since you guys, you're from the area, like if you think of Web City, the first thing you think of is football.
Yep, right. Definitely.
And so that's like everybody started to like support us and like started following. They're like, okay, like these guys are cool. Like they play football for Web City. Like they're good. Like let's, I don't know. It's a way of support, I guess.
Yeah.
And so like, that's kind of what it was for a while. Like we would post every once in a while, get a couple like, maybe like 60 likes every, not saying that likes matter, but like every so often.
Especially when you're starting out, you see it's like a change in any sort of metric, it's just going up, that's a good thing usually,
Yeah, like, I mean, the best part about it was like, okay, like people don't judge us, but we're just going to keep going. And then don't get me wrong, like in the beginning we did get like, because obviously we were new to the area and it's just me and Sergio were like, 2 Hispanics out of the demographic in Web City is a lot of, I don't know what you would call it, a lot of white folk. I don't know how to say that. Like
white people, a lot of Caucasians.
Caucasians. Not, I mean, I'm not degrading any race or whatever because I'm friends with everybody. But it was just like so weird to coming from Carthage where everybody's brown, like me. I'm just like, okay. Nobody here is brown, so like, what do I do? Like, I feel so left out and secluded.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like what it was in the beginning. People were like, "Oh, like, do you just think that you are cool because you work out now or whatever?" And there were like those doubters and stuff. Like, okay, like you're like, why do you think that you can just start an Instagram page and all of a sudden like start posting pictures like you think you're somebody and whatnot? Like.
There were really people like that?
Yeah, there were people like that. Like, and there still are people like that just because.
For sure, yeah.
Like, there still are people like that. And I just get, like, I hear it from, like, some, like, I guess friends, you would call it acquaintances. They're like, hey, man, like, you have, like, people talking bad, like, about, like, MuscleBound and shit. It's just, like, to me, I don't ever pay attention to that shit. I don't care. Like, why are you talking bad about, like, me or my brother or MuscleBound if you literally see like what we're trying to do? Like, I want to say honestly, like not to be like arrogant or whatever you want to call it, like we wanted to make working out cool. We wanted to make it seem that way. And so like that's what we did. Like for a while, like everybody was starting fitness pages because they were like, okay, like that's pretty badass. Especially if once we started posting more videos and shit, like
Yeah.
it became like the cool thing to do. It's like going to the gym.
So then you became more like an influencer, pretty much. Then.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it influencer either because, like, just like everybody else, you can call them influencers or whatever, fitness gurus.
Well, I mean, I guess people look up to you as a influencer. If people like started their fitness Instagram page because of you, right? Or because of you guys. So wouldn't that make you?
I'm sure some people did. I'm sure
Yeah.
some people saw you guys and started the fitness
Yeah.
page. I'm sure other people just were really into
I mean,
fitness.
I know a couple people that were like, man, like these people are freaking awesome, man. They're fucking getting like their freaking works done. I'm like, yeah, dude. Heck yeah, they are.
And honestly, I didn't start really seeing the whole lot because I didn't really follow you guys till probably closer to the beginning of last year, maybe. And I haven't seen you guys in a while, and all of a sudden I see both of you guys, and y'all like 6 foot wide, you know, like Jack, dude. And I'm like, dude, god damn, like these guys are big, man. These guys are monsters. And I see your workout videos. I saw your workout videos. I'm like, god damn, they're pushing heavy ass weight, you know. And so it was cool. It was cool to see all that, and Luis kind of brought me in to kind of help you guys in the beginning to first start up MuscleBound and stuff. And I saw I asked earlier if people were really saying that because I saw when I was working with you guys, I saw you had friends that were really about it, man, and really trying to help you guys out. You know, even when you know they might not be the face of it, you know. And I thought that was super. Cool. I'm like, man, these guys are really following with you guys and really helping you guys out and really behind you guys. And so that was really dope to see.
The videos are dope too. It's really well done. Really like.
And we were talking.
The graphics and the little details, they're nice. They like stand out from other people that are trying to do the same thing what you guys are doing, for sure.
Yeah, it's cool, man. And like we were talking earlier, while you were gone, Luis, that stuff isn't easy, you know.
I don't know, dude. Like there'll be days where you don't even want to go to the freaking gym, right?
Oh, for sure.
And, like, I feel like you guys are there every single day. I mean, you're supposed to give your body a day to rest, but I feel like with you guys, there's no fucking rest day, huh?
So like going back to like I guess the beginning is like whenever we started to see like some positive feedback, we're like, okay, like we can do something with this. And like we were like serious about it because people were saying like coming back to Carthage every once in a while, you would get those friends who were like, damn, like what, like you left Carthage and then you all of a sudden like got turned into somebody completely different. Because I mean I would think working out like did a lot for me and did a lot for my brother because I don't know, just like the body type that you get from working out just kind of gives you like the look. Okay, like I'm short, but like I don't look so short because of the way that my body is, and like I have muscle, like I have the leanness. Like I probably look like not 5'7". I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's whenever like fast forward, like I graduated, Sergio was still in, like he was like really good, like he was a starter for Web City, and so like even that helped us a bunch because they were like, oh, like what's MuscleBound, because he would post about it a bunch. And so like that's whenever like Luis came into the picture. He was like, hey, I see what you guys are doing, and I think it could be like big. I think it could be bigger. Yeah. And so like he wanted to be like the help. He's like, okay, like I don't. Like we had several talks about it. Like he would come over a bunch, and we had several talks about it. And they're like, man, what could we make this?
And I still think, bro, that having you guys compete or do something like that would boost your guys' like everything, numbers, like maybe in purchase and like merch. I really do think that if you guys do start competing in something, I don't know what, I feel like you guys will pop off even more than what you guys are doing now.
Have you guys thought about competing?
Because, go ahead.
So like when it comes to like for me, I don't know. I guess this is kind of like where me and my brother have like our differences. It's like I just work out because I love to feel good and I love the way that I look, like for myself personally, because like anytime there's a mirror and I'm around, like 10 times out of 10, I'm going to that mirror to see how much better I look. And like, I like to look at myself a lot in the mirror. And I get jokes about it. Oh, like, do you carry a mirror in your back pocket or whatever? Because I do look at myself a lot. But that's just the confidence that I got from working out, because like I work out essentially to be healthy, to look good, and like to feel good. And and like whenever it comes to like competing, like I never really had like the desire to compete. Like I never had like the interest to like do like a show or whatever. And not even just a show, like maybe like powerlifting, because kind of going back to like my high school days, like we were heavy on working out, and so both me and my brother, we were always number one on any lift. So like in the weight room, there's like top lifts for per class, so like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Really?
Me and my brother, we were always top, number one. Like we were always like beating everybody whenever it came to like lifts and like the records and stuff. Like come max day, we're ready. Like we took it serious and like smashed everybody's, like we took everybody, like I guess we set the bar. Like it was just me against my brother competing. Okay, who can get the most this time around. And there were instances where I would go in there and I would set the record or whatever, and then my brother had class next and he saw like what I got, and like one time we did like a rep count for, I think it was 185 because of like how much we weighed for 185 pounds, and I got the most in my class. I got 23, I think, is where I stopped, and that was the highest.
Yeah.
And so my brother comes into the next class. He asked me, how much did you get? And I told him, I got 23. And I said, if you don't beat my record, then like you're a bitch.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm not sure if I can cuss on this or not.
Yeah, I think fucking do whatever, man.
And so he was like, all right, bet. And so like, I remember I was in class and then I got a text message. He goes, I got 24. And I was like, damn, bro. Like, of course you did. It's like, I would fuck around with him and be like, of course, like I set the bar. So like, there's something that you know that you have to beat. Yeah. And so like, I think that's the cool part about it. It's like having that competition and having like somebody like push you to reach better heights and stuff. So it kind of ties back into like the beginning of MuscleBound. Like Luis came along and he's like, look, I think this could be huge. Like I started noticing like you guys are, well known in the area, and like you are you're in the gym. So I think that it could be something huge. So like, why don't we like sell some merch or whatever? And so like, we were like, yeah, we hadn't even thought about that yet. Like we didn't even have a YouTube or anything. Like, and that's whenever it like all started, because we started to talk more about it. And so like after we, obviously there's those things, we can talk about them, but until we do it, is when you really start to like know.
Then it becomes real.
Yeah, then it becomes real. And so like that's kind of like where it all started, like the beginning of MuscleBound. Like we started late 2017, and then you didn't really hear about MuscleBound until 2020.
Yep.
And so like obviously we're not huge, but I mean eventually, like if we keep pushing, we can get to where
for this area, you guys are like, I bet a lot of people know, a lot of gym goers anyways know who you are. A lot of people who go to the gym, maybe seeing you guys at the gym, I'm sure they know who you are. And so what is MuscleBound about? What is it? Is it fitness? Is it motivational? Is it life? What is it?
It could, so like it's just on what you perceive it to be. So like what we want to make MuscleBound, like what we want the message to be for MuscleBound, for like other people that like do like sit there and like consume the content that we put out, is like you can be better than you were yesterday. And so like whether that be in fitness or like in like work or whatever, obviously it's like fitness based, fitness related. Yeah. So like just like I told you earlier, like we wanted to make workout cool. So like we wanted to make that like the base of it. It's like, dang, I want to work out because I mean, they make it look cool. Like, I want to be like that too. Because I do remember, like, I had this huge idea of, like, what I wanted to be. And, like, man, like, I saw dudes in the gym. Like, I would watch workout videos and stuff, like, on YouTube and shit.
Yep.
And I was like, man, like, I wonder what it would look like if I had, like, a six-pack. And whenever I, like, started working out, like, every day I was checking for my fucking six-pack and, like...
Yeah, and the crazy part about it is, as soon as you see that little results, you're like, oh shit, I want more. I want more. I want more. You start getting addicted to it. You start going more without having that push. Like, oh gosh, I guess I'll go to the gym now. Like now it's just like, all right, like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and so like going off of what you were saying, like that's kind of like the message that we want to put out. Is like, okay, I can be better, like physically, and like anybody that works out will tell you it helps mentally as well. Like if you're having a bad day, if you can get yourself to the gym 10 times out of 10, you'll feel so much better after. Just because you get that like rush and like the I guess you like the hit of dopamine. It's just like it makes you feel good. And so like that's kind of like what we want the message to be for MuscleBound. It's like, dang, I want to be like the example. Like me and my brother want to be the example for like the younger generation. Even like if we can impact like even people older than us too. Like damn, like these guys are fucking better, kicking ass or whatever. Like even better. But we do get like. It still happens to this day. Like still, it's like you get those younger kids and be like, "Oh my god!" Like, they're like wearing like shirts, like MuscleBound shirts, and be like, "Oh my god!" Like, are you MuscleBound? Are you MuscleBound? Like, quick little like sidetrack. Me and my brother, we were at this party one time. It was just me and him, and so these people came up to us. It was just like this little posse, and like there was a couple dudes and like these girls or whatever. And so like my brother was like fresh out of high school. So like these are probably girls that, know him more than they know me because I was out of high school by then. And so the first thing was, are you guys MuscleBound? And then we looked at each other and we're like, oh shit. Like they don't even know me for me, like as a person,
shit,
like they know MuscleBound. And that was like, oh, like that's kind of badass, bro.
Yeah.
And so like, another instance, we were at another party, me and him, and it was like crowded. We were like on a rooftop, and it was crowded. And so I noticed, I was like, man, that looks like something that we just put out. And it was around the time, it was like around like December, I think, and it was colder, so people were like wearing hoodies. And so like I look and I have no idea who this person is, but they have like the MuscleBound hoodie, and I was like, damn, like that's badass, bro. Like I don't know who you are, but you're wearing MuscleBound, so it's just like, damn, that's kind of dope. And so like that's whenever it kind of like start to click. It's like, okay, we obviously have like done our due diligence and like putting effort into what we believe in, and like that's fitness, and so like that gives people motivation to like do better for themselves. And not only will like the thing with getting people to like really fuck with you is like, if you believe it in yourself. Like you can never like, I don't know what you want to call it, convince somebody to like what you're doing unless you can convince yourself that it's like the right thing. So like until people see that you believe it and like how much you believe in it, then they will believe too, because they're like, damn, like they're about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And so
I think I read that somewhere. A leadership book.
I like studied real quick before I got here to make sure I don't sound like a dumbass. Anyway, I think like that's the biggest part. It's like getting it started, like kicking off, like
with anything, right?
With anything, really. It's like our first drop ever. It was just shirts. So, we're sitting here, we're like looking for like a manufacturer, like, man, where can we get it? Where can we get it? And so like these are all beginning stages, and like obviously we have no idea what we're doing. And so we find this place in Joplin that can do it, because it's just like they're like the middleman for like the material and stuff, and like they can do printing. They can do printing and like embroidery.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, like we're about to do this. And then that's like around that same time as whenever we're like, okay, we need a website. And so that's whenever Luis said, my friend Dulio, which I was like, oh yeah, I remember Dulio, is like in IT, or he knows like something like that. And so like that's around the time that where you came in. I think you came to our house and we're
Yep,
like,
yep.
okay, I can do this. And so
Yep.
we worked on that while like looking for manufacturers. And so like this place in Joplin was the one for like the beginning. So we were like, okay, like we're just starting, so it's fine. And we got the website done thanks to Dulio. Everybody, give a round of applause for Dulio for getting for helping us with the website, because we're not very tech savvy. I mean, we can edit videos, but like as far as like developing, it's like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Luis came to me and he was like, "Yeah, man, these guys, they're kind of, needing somebody to build a website. I don't know how much you would charge." And we all met together. I'm like, "Man, I'm not gonna charge anything, man. Like I'll help you guys. It'll be cool, man. I like what you guys doing, so I'm not gonna charge anything, And so I gave you a couple of options, and then we went one route, and it turned out pretty good because we got you guys off and going, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It got us off and going. It was like that was like the biggest thing. It's like, okay, making sure that we have where we're gonna get the shirts, what we're gonna get on them, and like how we're gonna sell. So keep in mind, back to what I was saying, like we have never done this before, so it's just like, what are we even gonna do?
Yeah.
And so, well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, but that's kind of like the fun part about it, right? Is that you're not knowing and you're like searching, you're looking, like you're trying to communicate with these people, trying to communicate with them people. Like, I think that's pretty fun. Like, it's like all about the journey and the struggle.
I think it could be. I think it's fun after the fact, after you get it all done. I was like, man, that was kind of, it actually went okay. That was kind of fun. But I think during it's a little stressful, man. Like trying to figure all that stuff out. You gotta make the right decision. You gotta worry about if you got the right things set in place. You gotta worry about what if something wrong goes on or something. But you just gotta do it. Really, I mean, you learn through failure sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't all go how you planned it. We just gotta try again and see what works.
Oh yeah, you just gotta. I mean, once you fail once, like, okay, why did we fail? Let's do something different this time. So, anyway, like, we get the website done, we get our orders. So, like, in the beginning, we did. I can't remember if it was 50 or 75 shirts, and these were just plain black T-shirts with the MuscleBound logo, like right in the middle. And so I don't know what happened, but we got a few from Luis because his I don't know. You were doing some printing. I don't know what the machine was. It was like just screen printing.
No, yeah. It was vinyl.
Vinyl. Okay, so we got a couple shirts from Luis because it was vinyl, and so. We got a few from there, and we just used those for like, I guess what we would call then like marketing. We would just wear it and like post pictures about it. We would wear it like just kind of subtly, like throwing it in there like on Snapchat or like I don't even know if we put it on Facebook, but it was just mainly like Snapchat and like Instagram. So like we wouldn't say anything about it. We just posted it, so people kind of like would see it. And for like a couple of days, we were like, people were asking, what is that? Like, are you guys going to sell some shirts? And so like, then that's whenever we knew, okay, we're getting good feedback from it. Let's place our order from this place in Joplin. And so, like I said, I don't know if it was 50 or 75 shirts. And so we placed like that order, and we got the shirts in, and it was cool, like seeing it like physically, and we're like, okay, like this is badass. And so, we got that, and then the website was built. It was done, and so we set like a launch date. Like we posted about it, we like hyped it up and everything. And so the first, like the day of, like I woke up super early. I was like, okay, like I want to get this done. Like I want to make sure everything is fine. Like the pictures were on there. Like everything was set up for like that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And so like we even did a live before we launched. And so like once we like did say, okay, like the website is live, you can buy now. Like we had people were asking like the day before, it's like, can I get it early? And so like, no, you gotta wait. Everybody gotta wait. And
Everybody gotta wait.
Yeah, everybody gotta wait. Like, I don't even have a shirt yet. And so, like, once we launched, we waited like 10 minutes. Okay, like we were anxious. We're like, okay, what's gonna happen? 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes goes by, and then we're like, damn, like, what's going on? Because like it gives you like a live count, and there was like 225 people on the website. Like as soon as we
That's cool.
as soon as we opened it.
Yep.
And so we're like, oh shit, like there's this many people on the website, like that's freaking badass. And we keep in mind we only have let's just go with 50 shirts.
Yeah.
We only have 50 shirts. So I'm like, damn, like this is badass. Like we're gonna sell out. And so like we started getting messages from like my friends and like Sergio's friends. Hey, like my card isn't working. Like it's not going through. It's not going through. It's not going through. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening here? And so like. Right then, I didn't know what to do. I was like, what's wrong? And so, like, I told Sergio, I was like, just tell him, like, give us a couple minutes. Like, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
And so he's like, dude, they keep texting. Like, even me, like, my phone was blowing up. Everybody's texting me. And so I was like, damn, I don't even know what to do. And so, like, I got on the computer and I was like, why, like, the transaction failures, because that's what everybody was getting. Like, it did not process.
Yeah.
And, the thing was, we didn't even have a LLC for it.
Yeah.
We didn't even have that.
So
So
you
like,
had to have one of those?
set because in order to like receive payments, you need an LLC and like the employee identification number. So like your EIN, which
you had a tax. You had
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that.
So like you need that in order to like run a store, and so
business pretty much.
yeah,
you know?
like a business.
Shit. I didn't know that.
And so like I found out, I was like, man, I didn't even know this. And so that's whenever I was like, okay, like, how do I get that? And so, like, that's whenever I started looking around and, like, I finally found where you have to, like, I mean, I can't remember. It's like.
You had to apply through Missouri's Secretary's office.
Yeah, like the Secretary of State, you have to apply through that, and then you have to, like, pay whatever amount it was to get that, like, situated. And so then they'll send you. And so I did one that was like, we'll get you your EIN in, like, 24 hours. So I was like, fuck. So, like, we went live again. We're like, hey, like, sorry for the inconvenience. Like, our website, like, we just said that it crashed. Like, we didn't say that. We didn't fucking have everything that we needed. So we just said it crashed. But that same day, like, we said that, like, you couldn't buy it online.
Yep.
We had 50 shirts, and we sold out of everything that same day through Snapchat.
Just from people hitting you up,
people
saying,
hitting us up.
My transaction didn't go through, and then you're like, hey, something wrong with the website.
Yeah.
What do you want? Is that what you?
Literally,
okay.
That's exactly what we did. We're like, they were like, "What's your Cash App?" So we just used Snapchat and Cash App, and we sold out like so quick.
And that's actually what I liked about you guys. You guys didn't just like gave up right there. Like, damn, you guys are all right. Well, shit. Well, what can we do? Like, what's the next thing that we can do? And they're like, all right, well, we got to tell these people to Cash App us at this, and then we can deliver it to them. I'm like, damn, all right, these guys are hustling. Like even though this website didn't go as planned, they're like, all right, fuck that website. Let's just fucking do it this way. You know, so
Plan B. What's
like,
Plan B?
All right, like,
I don't know what Plan B. We're making it right
these
now.
Guys, these guys, dude, I was right there with them. Like, dude, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm like, dude, me neither. I'm like,
yeah, dude, like we didn't have a plan B. Our plan A was we're just gonna open the website and we're gonna see if people fuck with us or they don't fuck with us. And so plan A went terribly wrong. Nobody could buy anything on the website. So we're like literally sitting there. It's like, okay, we're making plan B. It's like, that's what we did. Just everybody through Snapchat, and we're like, okay, this is the Cash App. And so that's what we did. And we like sold out from that, which was, I was like, damn, like we actually just did that.
Yeah.
And so like for the first launch, like we sold out and we're like, we can deliver it. Cause it's a lot of people locally. And we had a couple like just further out, like 30, 45 minutes. So like that was probably the furthest that we had to drive. But it's just me and my brother. We sorted out the shirts we got because through Shopify. Like whenever people would buy, like some people on there had their address, so we went off of there, and then some Snapchats that we got, people would send us their address through there. So like we got everything together. We split it 25, and then we went on our way to start delivering these shirts. So people got their shirts in like a day or two because it took so long to go literally around like Carthage, Joplin, Carl Junction.
That's fucking customer service right there, man.
Oh yeah, it was, dude. It was me and Sergio. We like our cars were like so shit. Like, dude, like it was crazy. Like my car, like for like an hour, my car like overheated, and then we're like, fuck, like.
Was this the time where you pulled up at the freaking gym and you popped up your no, that was your freaking brakes, I think.
It was my
Your
brakes.
Your
gave
brakes
out,
were
huh?
smoking.
Dude,
God
his
damn,
brakes
bro.
gave out.
Yeah, so like that was a separate time, but like man, this car was so shit, dude. It was
Your
like
Beamer?
no, it wasn't the Beamer. I was driving a '96 Honda. Like the Beamer, I sold, and I was like, okay, like I probably use something more practical. And so I was just like, I don't even care what people think. I'm gonna drive this old ass Honda for a minute. Like I don't give a fuck. But man, that gave me so much trouble. Like my brakes went out, it overheated.
Damn.
It was everything that could go wrong went wrong with that car. But that's the thing. It's like just with anything, like we didn't give up. We're like, okay, what can we do next? And so like we figured it out, and so we got it down. And so fast forward, we got such good feedback from it. So we're like, damn, that's badass. Like we were able to do that. So we're like, okay, let's try it again. So like fast forward, like 6 months later, we were like, okay, what was our next drop? And so like we did hoodies, crew necks, beanies, and I think that was pretty much it. I think it was just hoodies, crew necks, beanies, and then we did like 2 colors of the crew necks, 1 of the hoodie, and then just one style of beanie. And so we like at this time, like we had everything figured out. Like the website was on, and like it was all situated because we learned from the first time. Okay, we have everything figured out. And so we set like a launch date. Now, keep in mind, we have a trip coming up, which we brought this up to Luis. We're like, we're going to Puerto Rico. You want to come?
Dude,
You'll have to talk about Puerto Rico. I saw some pictures.
dude,
Look
I really
badass.
wanted to go, but this was kind of like the last. To me, it was kind of like the last minute. Like I'm like, God damn it, I don't have the money to fucking go right now. I mean, I had the money to buy my plane ticket, but as soon as I bought my plane ticket, I wasn't gonna have money to freaking spend in Costa Rica.
Puerto Rico.
Your friend went to Costa Rica, right?
Yeah, my friend went to Costa Rica, and he actually wanted me to go with him, but I was like, nah, man.
Yeah,
Like,
he was telling me about that. He was like, yeah, dude, we should come up here with me next time. Like, bro, let me know. Like, I'll go up there with you.
yeah, and so like we were going with him. His name, we were going with Caden, and then some friends that he knew, which were super dope. It was fun, but so we set this Eric and his brother Ryan. So like
Eric, the guy that came in here. Yep.
yeah, they're pretty dope. And so we set this launch day. I can't even remember. I think it was like a day before we left. So like we spent like 6 days in Puerto Rico. And we had set like the launch date beforehand, before we even knew like that we were gonna officially go to Puerto Rico. We set like the launch date like a day or 2 days before we were leaving Puerto Rico, because we're like, we're just gonna come back and
Figure it out.
We're gonna get it done. And so keep in mind, like in Puerto Rico, like we were chilling, like
You're on vacation.
we were on vacation, like every night. We probably spent so much more money than we needed to. Like it was crazy. It was so much fun though. And
We need to take a trip up there one day.
yeah, we have to go back.
I saw your brother went up there again for the second time, right?
Yeah, we
Somebody?
went again.
Oh, you went again
Yeah,
too?
yeah, we went again.
Okay.
And we got back like 4 months ago. And so like this first time, like this is like the second time that we're gonna launch. So I look at Sergio and I'm like, fuck. Like we're about to launch. And he goes, shit, what do we do? What do we do? And so like we didn't know. We had pictures of our merch because we took some before we left to Puerto Rico, because we're like, okay, we just want to see how it is. So we used like literally the archived pictures, and we posted it on Instagram, and we said we used that as like the be ready.
Yep.
And so just to remind people that we're gonna launch. And so like we're like, fuck, like honestly, those pictures saved us because if we would have got back, like we were like, damn, like what, like where am I gonna get this? When are they gonna launch?
Yeah.
So we get back, and as soon as we get back, like we didn't even sleep. So like we went to this warehouse that are like our friends own, and we just started taking a bunch of pictures, like product shots for like the website. And that same day we put it on there, and we're like, fuck, because we were gonna launch the next day. And so we put everything on there, and I stayed up so late, dude. I was not gonna sleep because I was like, damn, that's our fault. Like we didn't even think that through. And this is the best part. Like this is like my favorite part about like the whole thing of like starting MuscleBound and shit. So we did that, and like keep in mind, so like you get the option to like have the website closed or you can have it open. Like it just depends on like if the website is ready or not. So like I got everything figured out. Like I put all the pictures together, and I was like, okay, like it's ready. Like we're gonna launch tomorrow at like 10 a.m. And so it was like 5:30, dude, and I was still up, and I was so tired, bro.
Damn.
So tired. And I forgot because I needed the website to be open at a certain time, and so like, dang, I need to be up to open this website. And so it was open. I was just doing like a couple transaction like I forget what you call it. It's like fake transactions to see if it'll work. And so I made sure to do that, and they were going through. And so like I said, I was tired. I was so tired. I was like, man, I don't know if I can stay awake. So I just looked at my phone. I was like, okay, I get 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, whatever. And so I set my alarm, and then that's the last thing I remembered. Like my laptop was open at the time, like the first thing I saw whenever I woke up. But like I forgot to close the website, and so like it was ready, but I forgot to close the website. And so, like, I just passed out. I was, like, so tired, I passed out. And so, like, I have Shopify downloaded on my phone. So, like, at the time, I didn't know I was going to get notifications. And so, like, keep in mind, like, we had posted about this, like, the night before when it was going to be open. And you could be ready whenever, like, be ready for when it drops so you don't miss out or whatever. Just creating the anticipation, making people think that they're going to miss out if they don't buy, if they're not there on time. So I wake up, dude, to the sound of my phone just blowing up. So Shopify does this thing when somebody purchases something, it gives you the chick-ching, chick-ching, and that, dude.
Fucking money coming in, fucking money coming through, bro.
So literally, bro, that was my alarm. Just chick-ching, 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 chick-ching,
making it rain
chick-ching,
over there, huh?
chick-ching. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I checked my phone, bro. We were, so like, I mean, I don't care to talk about like the money aspect of it. So like by the time I woke up at 10, there was like my entire phone, like I had to scroll through all the orders coming in.
That's awesome, man.
And so so like we opened at 10. By 1 o'clock, we had already generated like $2,500. So like
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, $2,500. And so like that's whenever it hit me. I was like, bro, in 2 hours we made $2,500 all through Instagram and like promoting it like literally through social media. And I was asleep and I was making this money. Keep in mind, it's like not money for me, like it, but it's like money's money. So like,
it was for the brand. It was for improvement. It was
it's for the brand and shit.
Yeah.
And so like, I looked at Sergio because he was like, I woke him up and I said, bro, like, look at this shit. And he was like, damn, what? And so like by the end of the day, we were already sold out. And so like, that was the biggest thing for me. It's like, we literally were making money while we were asleep. And so, like, that's the biggest thing that stuck with me is, like, I had no idea what was going on, but I know that we were making money. And, like, by the time it was all said and done, we had sold out and we, like, looked. We're like, damn, we made what people make in a month in 6 hours. So, like, damn. Like, if you really put your fucking mind to something and you, like, believe in it, you can be successful. Obviously, it's not about the money, like, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I love money. Like, I'm not.
We all like money, bro.
Yeah,
we all like money.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, do it because you'll be rich." No, like, it's just the idea that you can find different ways to make money, and if it's like doing something that you love, you can potentially monetize it. And like going through like the beginning process, like the beginning stages of it, like that's not. I can honestly say that wasn't at the top of my, like I wasn't thinking about it at all. I was just making sure that everything was
like ready.
making sure it was ready to go, and like I didn't have money in mind at all. And so like that's like literally going back to what I was saying, like that's the biggest thing is like we started 2017. We just did pictures of improvement. Like, oh look, I can do like so many sit-ups. I can look at my back, look how it's growing. To having like a website and like a YouTube,
a full brand,
and like a brand that me and my brother started, which is probably like the best part about it. It's like something that it's like your baby.
Yeah, it really is.
And like whether or not it's gonna stick, it's gonna stay. Like obviously you want it to, but like it just shows you like if you want to, you can do it.
Yeah.
You just gotta believe in it, and like once you believe in it, other people will too. And yeah, like that's pretty much like
the MuscleBound story, man.
Like the MuscleBound story is like we didn't know what we were doing, but like we found ways, we found avenues to like get it, to make sure that people were getting it too because they wanted it. And so like I don't know, I thought it was pretty dope. And
that is dope, man. That's a great story. I mean,
and are you guys coming out with new merch anytime soon? Are you guys planning on to?
So here's what our plan is. Like I talked to Sergio a bunch about like maybe, so for a second, like we were just like coming out with a bunch of new things all at once. So like our idea of like the brand that we want to do, like the brand image or whatever is like create something and only sell it one time and have it sell out, and like people miss out if they didn't buy it, so you can't get it again. So like that's the idea of it. And so like we were like coming up with like a couple ideas of things that we could drop and stuff, but like it wasn't really like coming together like we wanted it to. So we're just like, okay, maybe we should take a step back and like really focus, because we weren't really like making the videos that we were posting, or we weren't posting the pictures that we were taking either. Like it was just all like, oh, this is what we're gonna sell next. Like it was getting away from like the idea of like what started MuscleBound, which was like the fitness videos that everybody loved to watch, and like getting these people motivated. Yeah. So we're like, okay, we got to take a step back and like see, okay, we got to get these people to like really feel like they're a part of us too, for what we post and not what we're selling. So like that's where we're at. It's like people are like they're sellouts, they're just selling shit now. And the biggest question for us in the beginning, whenever we did start to sell, is like, oh, how much money did you guys make? That's literally it.
That's what people were asking.
That's what people were asking. How much money did you guys make? How much did you make? How much did you make? And like, it's like I've never really been asked that question. So I mean, I didn't answer. I was like, we made enough. Like,
does that question like, does it like offend you, or does it like irritate you? Like whenever people say, "Hey man, like how much you make?" Because I know that a lot of people, if you ask them, "Hey, how much you make working at this job or something," most of the time people will be like, you're not supposed to be like asking that question, you know? But like, does that offend you? Does that like get you a little bit agitated? Or?
So like, kind of stemming from what you're saying, like,
because for me, I'm like, bro, I don't care. Like, I'll just say it out there. Like, whatever.
Yeah. So like, stemming from what you're saying, like what you get a lot of the times is like, say you start like a new job or whatever. It's like, oh, like how much are you gonna pay? It's like, it's easy to say, oh, minimum wage, or I'm starting at $14 an hour. They're starting me at $20 an hour. Like that's easy, because it's just like it comes and goes. It's like people don't really retain that, because obviously they're not gonna work there. Like unless you're like, hey, you should come work here. They're paying like a pretty decent like hourly wage or whatever. But to answer your question, yes and no. It is kind of like irritating, because it's just like, why does that matter? Like, why does it matter to you how much we made? Like, it starts with an initial investment, and obviously that's money from our pockets, and like what we make is what we put back. So like we take nothing from it. So like that's a number that we're not gonna like just tell everybody, oh, we made this much, we made this much, we made this much, because like people's idea of us now, we get a lot of times it's like, oh, like how's MuscleBound, and then we tell them, and then they ask, is like that, is that your full-time job? It's like, well, no, it's like I'm not just doing full-time, like because it obviously takes a long time to really make it your full-time job,
Yes,
if that's
it
what
does.
you want it to be.
Yes, it does.
And so, I mean, every once in a while, like we'll joke about it. It's like, damn, you guys are always at the gym. Is this your job? Like, and we're like, yeah, like we just make videos.
Yeah,
Like, we just make videos and we post on Instagram. We have a website. Like that's our full time. Like we just live in life. Because I mean, part of it is like I love to speak shit into existence. So like if I can feel like that's all I do, that's gonna happen. So like
Yeah.
if I can have a business that I can run and like work out whenever I want, and like they always say, oh, like the gym is always empty in between 9 to 5. Well, why is that? Because everybody's at work. So like if you really think about it, if you have the freedom to like run your own business and like you can literally have your own schedule. So like if I'm in the gym in between that time, I feel like, damn, like I can get used to this shit because everybody's at work like during those hours. So like it's just, I like to believe in like I said, speaking stuff into existence, and like if you can see it, if you can believe it, then like it's bound to happen. If you really want it to happen, you just got to work for it. It's like obviously that's easier said than done, because if I was like, man, like I want $1 million. Okay, well how are you gonna make $1 million? But yeah, like it's just like whenever people ask, it's just like, well, I mean that's not really what we're going for. It's like how did it go, or when you guys gonna drop next? Not how much money did you make?
Yeah. And that's I say that a lot too. It's like anything's achievable, man. Like everybody's got two hands, you know. Everybody's got a brain, you know. So you know you have some limitations, you know, but anything's achievable. And you talked about videos, and I just recently watched your guys' latest videos. Will you explain to me what this Road to 200 is?
Yeah, so like kind of jumping back, our last video was with we have a couple friends that are like in the NFL now, which is dope, like cuz we went to school with them. And so I made a video with my friend who just recently started playing with the Vikings. He got drafted, which is dope. Like congrats, like that's huge, like that's a milestone.
What's he play?
He is in Minnesota, so he plays for the Minnesota Vikings.
What position does he play?
He's at tight end right now.
He's a tight end?
Well, that's what I think. That's what I think. Like I don't really like, because honestly, like I played football, but I don't really follow up too much on football. Like like every once in a while, like I'll watch, but I don't really plan. Oh, when are we gonna watch the game or whatever?
Yeah.
But so that was the last video, and it got like 2K views, which is dope. Like damn, that's more subscribers than what we have. But this Road to 200. So like I told Sergio, and like he's known it for a while, because I like to think that like yes, I put in the work, and still like I busted my ass, bro. Like whenever I started, I was waking up 4:30 in the morning. I would run my ass off fucking as hard as I could. I'd come back and I'd do push-ups, sit-ups. This was before like I even had a car and a membership at the gym. So like I was doing everything that I could to like better myself. And so like I have like the leaner frame, and so it's like I was never like bigger, like heavier set. I was never like chubby. So like I was blessed genetically, but like I still worked my ass off.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
like when it comes to genetics, like I don't know, I just look good because like I was blessed with the genetics, and I was able to get what I have now just because of how like my makeup is.
Yep.
Now for him, it's different because I could eat whatever I want and still look the same because my body burns everything. So like I like going out on weekends, like drinking, like doesn't affect me. Like eating whatever I want, like eating the pizza, doesn't really affect me. But for him, he doesn't have the metabolism that I do, and so like it's harder for him, which I have it easy because it's my genetic buildup. For him, it's harder because he doesn't have that, and so like he wants a body that he hasn't had before, and so like he's big. Like if you see him, like god damn, like this dude is big, like. And so like he wants to be shredded, like he wants to have those separations, and so like in order to do that, like I said, bro, you need to get to 200 pounds.
What was he at now? Was he sitting at now?
I think he's like 188, 189, And so like if you want that, you have to build your muscle, like attain this muscle mass. Obviously, don't dirty bulk, which I mean, I don't really know. I don't really want to explain what a dirty bulk is, but just make sure that you eat more calories than you're burning, and then you will get there. Just make sure that you're staying consistent in your workouts. So essentially, the road to 200 is he's gonna put on this weight, gain this muscle, and once he achieves the 200 pounds is whenever he's gonna cut. So like once you cut, you gain this muscle. That's whenever you start to see you're shedding your body fat, and then you'll see this new muscle like come in that you didn't really have, or it was just there, you just didn't like.
Because it's hard to do, but you say that because it's hard to do both, right? It's hard to gain weight or gain muscle mass and lose weight, right? That's like almost like it's almost like a double-edged sword, So you can't really do both. That's why you're saying it, right?
Yeah, it's hard. It's definitely hard to like. People have this idea. Oh, like I'm gonna bulk in the winter, shred for the summer. So like for me, I just stay how I am year round. Like any time of the year, like you'll see me. I'll take my shirt off. I'll have a fucking six pack just because I want it to be that way. But for him, like he wants to achieve another look, and so like he will. That's what the road to 200 is. Get to 200 pounds and cut and see how he looks. And so like that's what he's working on now. Like I think he's gonna take over the YouTube for a little bit, just to kind of take everybody through the journey if they're interested to see like what it's like.
That would be cool, man. That would be badass if he gets there, man.
Yeah, and so like that's what the road to 200 is.
200 pounds, bro.
That's what I was thinking, man.
Yeah, I can.
Because your brother's the same height as me, I think, right?
Yeah, and
bro, fuck.
Because I don't know how
That's
much
heavy.
you weigh. Because I think you're light. You're on the lighter side. You're like 165, like 160.
Yeah, bro. I finally reached up to 170, dog.
Bro, I've been trying to get to 165, man. Even break 160, man. I'm like, for a while I was at 159, sitting around like about to break 160, and then I went like 156. I'm like,
well, I mean, dude, to
That
be
shit's
honest,
hard,
with
man.
me, like just being at 170, I do feel a little bit heavier than if I was at 165, and I can't imagine being at 200, dog. Holy crap!
Yeah, I could personally since obviously because like I'm not tall. I'm not the tallest. Like
We're not.
we're not.
tall,
Like,
bro, I feel you, bro.
It's
like-
a genetic thing.
I don't want to be that fucking short guy in the gym that's walking around like this.
Yeah.
Like I like to look a certain way. Like I like to look like I'm faster than you, or like I can jump higher than you. Like I just want to be able to move. So like I think at what I'm at, which is I like anywhere from like 174 to like maybe once in a blue moon like surpass 180, but that's not very often.
So that leads me to my next question, because I'm wondering, what are your fitness goals? Are your fitness goals to stay the same weight, to keep the same look, and just to maintain right now? Is that what it is right now? Or do you have any other goals?
So right now, I guess like I just have this idea that I want to look like I do now because I love the way that I look. Now, as far as like fitness goals, I haven't really set any new ones, just because like for a little bit I was trying to beat like my PRs like strength wise, for like from like anywhere from like a 6-month period, which I was able to do. I got up to like my heaviest, which was like a little over 180, and that's whenever I smashed like everything that I've ever done before. So like for squat, like I did 495. For bench, I did 365. For deadlift, I hit like 435. Like everything just went up just because like I did it the right way. Like I got a little bit heavier, but I also got muscle.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I guess that kind of went away. Like I don't really care to be the strongest. I just want to look good. And so, like, that's kind of what I stick to. Like, I just go to the gym to be healthy. It's part of my routine. Like, there are those days where I don't want to fucking go, but I just go just because it's like, if I don't go, it feels like, man, like, what am I doing? My day doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
And
I understand
dude,
that.
and you're not the only person that has said that too. Like I've got a cousin as well. He's to me, he's a little bit shorter. He might be your size. But dude, this guy's. I think he's a little too big for his size. And he has told me, like, nah, dude, like, right now, like, I don't even care about being strong. Don't even care about being too fucking big. right now I just want to look good, feel good, and keep this thing. And he's been working out for a long time, so I feel like the longer you've been working out, the more like you start dialing down. But all right, well, I've been there. I try to become the strongest person I've wanted to become. Like, I've done that. I've been there. Now I'm just trying to maintain and not really, go any further than what I am now. And I think a lot of people that's been in the gym, like for a long time, have that same mentality, like right now. Because right now I'm kind of transitioning to that point too. I'm like, man, like I push myself pretty hard, and there's that times where, like, for example, for squat, I'll be squatting like a motherfucker, and the very next day I'm like, God damn, my fucking knee hurts. Like, I'll be, man, is this even good? Is this even healthy? Like, if I keep pushing my body as I'm going right now, I think, and here the next 2-3 years, I'm gonna have freaking arthritis and shit. So,
Oh yeah, that's something you gotta worry about when you're lifting heavy. But that's a good point. I think that's a good message. You don't have to go to the gym to be huge or going to the gym. I think consistency is the biggest thing. So I try to go to the gym every day of the week, 'cause the weekends, how that shit goes. Like Saturday comes, either falls on leg day or like back day. Back days are a little easier, but still I'm like, damn, man, like I can't get myself to go. But every day of the week, I'm in there and stuff, and it's like this, like you said earlier, it's great for mental health, man. It helps me. Sometimes you even mentioned it, man. Sometimes I'm at work and, man, I can't wait to go to the gym. Today's kind of been shitty at work, Like I'm ready to just go, put my headphones in, man, get a lift in, and it should be a message to everybody, And I love what you guys are doing with MuscleBound, and then I've kind of seen it flourish, and it's super cool, man. It's super admirable, and hopefully everybody can take a message from that, and I'm excited to see what you guys got coming and everything, and I appreciate you. We're close on time here. I appreciate you coming through, man, and hopefully we can get you and your brother and because he's a character for sure, man.
Dude,
your brother's
his brother, man, funniest motherfucker I've known, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah,
I feel like with that podcast, you probably get more like the stories of like what happened in Puerto Rico and shit. Like, we can talk about fitness all day long, but like the stories that that are like the memories. He'll tell you all about him because he's just that kind of energy. Like he's that character. He's
high energy, man.
Yeah, like that's what you'll get out of him. But no, like I don't know. It's kind of badass. Like obviously, I love to see what you guys are doing too with like podcasting and shit because like I don't know. Just like you said earlier, it's like kind of hard to pick up a camera and film yourself. It's the same thing. It's like it's not everybody can speak into a mic and like keep a conversation going. So like that's pretty dope for you guys, and I love that. So like I'm sure like just keep doing the podcast. You'll eventually like shit will be booming.
To be honest, I'm still working on it. Like I get nervous talking in front of the freaking camera. Like there'll be times like, man, like I catch myself stuttering. I'm like, fuck, there's a camera right there. And also, like, I have a couple people lined up to come through, and they're like, bro, I don't know if I can come in and talk into the freaking camera or talk on the mic. Like, I don't know what you say. I just get nervous when I talk. I'm like, dude, that's how it is. I get nervous whenever I come in here all the time, but
you just got to do it,
At one point, you just got to stop giving a fuck. Like, just fucking do it.
And it actually comes more natural than you think, It's like once you start talking, it's actually more natural,
And especially since you start drinking some, bro.
You
forget
loosen
that the
up.
camera's even there.
You start loosening up.
Even there.
What are you talking about? I don't drink, bro. I'm all fitness.
All fitness. Ain't no junk food, ain't no drink.
This is actually called muscle tequila.
Oh, so it definitely helps with your protein synthesis.
Oh yeah. Put some more in there.
Yeah, that's what they get a little bit more in there.
All right, well, man, we'll have you and your brother on here, and I appreciate you talking to us about MuscleBound and everything. And both me and Luis are excited to see you guys flourish, man, and keep killing the fucking game, man.
Nah, just for like you guys, man, this is badass. Like keep doing this shit. Like eventually you'll be talking to like people of like significance, and that's when you're gonna be like, oh shit, like I'm glad that I interviewed fucking Luis and
Hell yeah,
Sergio,
dude.
and like
Heck
you'd
yeah.
be glad. So like,
And then we
you
can
gotta
meet
go
up again.
yeah, we
Then
can meet up again. Like,
Yeah.
but like, I want to put everything back to you guys. Like, that's badass. Like, keep doing it for
Appreciate
sure.
that.
Like,
Appreciate
just
that.
if you ever feel discouraged, just keep going. Like, and don't stop, because that's badass. Like, most people won't ever pick up something like this and be like,
Yeah.
okay, I want to do something with it. So
Appreciate
that's
that,
huge
man.
for you guys. Like, we need to have like a celebratory dinner or something.
Oh, for sure, for
Dude,
sure.
yeah, that's not a bad idea, dude.
is-
I've always wanted to have cigars, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah, I've always wanted to have a cigar and just celebrate. I told these guys, man, I'm like, I'm gonna go pick up a fucking $20 cigar, man, and just celebrate, you know, just fucking
Shoot.
puff it out, you know.
Shoot, we might do that right now. After this podcast.
Yeah, so like to probably I don't know. You said we're close on time. I think the final message is like what
we
everybody.
can keep going, man. I just say I don't know if you got anywhere to go. We can keep going. I don't know.
No, because we gotta go to party after.
Yeah.
So I think the final message should be like, for me anyways, like any win that you get is like, make sure to celebrate it. Like even if it's the smallest win, like just make sure to pat yourself on the back, like, because that's huge, because it's a win, you know. So if you said like, even as small as like, damn, I want to wake up tomorrow morning and go to the gym. And if you do that, once you're done with the gym, it's just like, damn, like, I'm so glad that I
Celebrate
got
a little
up and like celebrate that shit. But like, even for you guys, like, you should have celebrated after your first upload. It's just like, celebrate that
Oh,
shit.
hell yeah, we did, bro. We finished a whole damn.
Oh shit! No, but yeah, that's
Dude, is there anything that you want to like shout out, like new merch that's coming out? Is there a certain date that you guys are trying to drop? Is there?
So the only thing that I want to like put light on is like give a shout out is like keep up with Sergio's journey, because he's gonna. I mean, putting up weight like that, like. Make sure to keep up with like the Instagram and like the YouTube, because like that'll be interesting even for me to see, because that's a pretty
It's not easy, man.
Yeah, it's
Shit
not
ain't
easy.
bro.
So like if you want to keep up with that, like it's on YouTube, so like you can just look up MuscleBound. I think MuscleBound documentaries is what it is on YouTube, and then just MuscleBound _ on Instagram if you are wanting to like see how he's doing and like what his progress is like.
So, are you gonna be in the videos too, or are you just gonna be like just out of the videos?
So I would say like every once in a while you'll probably see me in there, like if we're in the gym together, because our schedules are different, like like work wise what we do like in the day. I'll probably be in there every once in a while, but like he's gonna take the wheel on this one, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna be going to 200 pounds.
Yeah.
But
heavy,
yeah, like that's something to watch out for sure. But I mean, every once in a while you'll see me cameo in there.
Hell yeah, man.
Cool.
Well, everybody listening, watching, go kick ass, man. Go do something. Go accomplish your goals, you know.
I think I'm about to go work out right now.
Shit, I am too, man. Take another shot. Be ready. All right. Thanks, Luis.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys for having me on.
All right. We'll catch everybody later. See ya.